you're looking to build, buy, or upgrade your gaming PC, then chances are you're looking at two main components: the graphics card and the CPU. But getting a good combination of these two parts, well, that's not so simple. I mean, there are just so many different things to choose from, with graphics cards costing anywhere from hundreds to thousands, and now these so-called gaming CPUs that are also demanding you spend even more of your hard-earned cash. So what exactly are the best combinations of these products? Which ones are worth buying? What brands should you pick up? And ultimately, what is going to be right for your personal gaming PC? That's right, I'm talking about you. Let's just get straight to it after a short word from this video's sponsor. Newegg's Black Friday deals have arrived, and if you want to save big on the latest PC components, then now is the time to do it. There are insane deals on fan favourites like the Lee ALV2s, CPU coolers from EK, Corsair and more, as well as deals on GPUs, motherboards and SSDs. You can even trade in your old GPU and put that towards a new one. Discover your next gateway to gaming with Newegg. Check out the sale with the link down below. First things first, how not to waste your money. A gaming PC's frame rate and the ability to run demanding settings and resolutions is typically determined by the speed of your graphics card and your processor, or the CPU. More times than not, it's the graphics card that's usually the bottleneck, which means that if you choose to upgrade to a better, more powerful card, you'll get even higher frame rates. But if you look at video game engines over the last 5 to 10 years, you'll see that there's definitely a big trend to being more and more demanding on the processor. So if you want to be able to keep up, well, you're going to need a decent chip. That's why having both a powerful graphics card and computer processor is so important, as you need them to help each other out and prevent huge gaps in performance. Call of Duty Warzone is probably the main example of a game bottlenecked in this manner, and even the top-end Ryzen 7800X3D isn't enough to prevent the game bottlenecking when running alongside the most powerful GPUs. The key here is all about balance, as there's no point spending £1,000 on a graphics card only to spend £100 on your CPU, or vice versa. Not that there are many CPUs costing £1,000, but you get the point. It's the art of leveling the two things so that they don't hold each other back and you can maximize performance. The good news is that most modern day CPUs are actually pretty darn tasty, and there's not huge differences in performance as you spend over the £300 or dollar mark. The thing to bear in mind though is that games never really scale with core counts over 8. So spending more on a Ryzen 12 or 16 core processor will only really help you if you also stream your games, rather than just play them. The same also applies with our Intel CPUs, with a slight caveat being that they actually have a combination now of efficiency cores and performance cores. And the performance cores are the ones that are really great for gaming, whereas efficiency are more for sort of background tasks and multitasking. So when you're looking at the core count, do be sure to differentiate between the two. Got that? And then finally, before we move on to our recommendations, do also bear in mind that longevity absolutely does come into play whenever you're buying a new processor. And different chips support different motherboards, and these motherboards will vary in terms of features and, crucially, future product compatibility. Ultimately, buying a motherboard that can be upgraded with a processor that's 1, 2, or maybe even 3 generations newer with something like AM5 can not only save you a lot of money, but it'll save you a fair bit of hassle too.
Oh, but PC Centric, that's so boring. I know all of this stuff.
I came here for recommendations, and you're just talking and churning out pure guff.
And I've had enough.
So okay, pitchforks down everybody, let's get on with the recommendations. And of course do bear in mind that if you do want to check out current pricing, because obviously it varies from time to time, you can find that link down below with our product affiliate links. Starting at the budget end, I'd go for an Intel Core i3 12100F CPU, and then I'd grab a used AMD RX 6600 graphics card. Neither of these are new nor cutting edge tech, but both provide the core experience when it comes to gaming. You'll be able to land yourself fantastic 1080p frame rates in the titles that probably matter to you most, including over 100 FPS in older titles, and even a lot of the newer ones can run surprisingly well on this hardware. Obviously though, this is not going to be the absolute best CPU that you can buy, and the main compromise really is that it is only 4 cores, so there are going to be some newer titles that really do require more and you might run into some problems, and just in terms of its raw speed, if you do pair it with a more expensive graphics card, it's not going to keep up for very long. But in terms of value for money, especially if you're buying a starter gaming PC, I don't really see any reason to go for anything else. If you can afford a little bit more than just the bare bones though, then next up we have an absolute classic. Intel's i5-12400F with either an RX 6600, RX 7600 or an RTX 4060 graphics card. This i5 is a 6-core processor, which allows it to be much more flexible in terms of game support, longevity, and it also has the basic ability to be able to do some multitasking whilst you're gaming. I'll also add, by the way, because I know loads of you are thinking this right now, why are you recommending a 12th gen CPU for both the low end and this one? Why wouldn't you go for 13th or maybe 14th? It all comes down to price, because the 13400F, it is better than the 12400F, but at the moment it's about £50 more, which is 33% more money for very similar performance. If you're going to spend that, then you step up to the next tier. Make sense? Moving back to our graphics cards though, both the RX 7600 and the RTX 4060 do actually have very similar performance, which will translate into high refresh rate 1080p and a solid 1440p gaming experience. But you should be aware that this is at that sort of cut-off point where both cards have 8GB of VRAM, and that the RTX 4060 does pack in Nvidia's AI and ray tracing cores that will make it more capable in the next generation of video games, but you're going to have to pay a fair bit more for the premium, which is arguably not really worth it for everyone. Depends what you play. If you do want to learn a little bit more, by the way, about Nvidia versus AMD, what's better, whether ray tracing or DLSS actually matters, I've made a full video on this and you can find it in the top right corner of your screen. Stepping it up once again, now is the time to talk about the sweet spot of PC gaming, 1440p, Quad HD, and high refresh rates. And the combination that I would recommend here are the Ryzen 7 7700 and either an RTX 4070 or the RX 7800 XT. Priced at roughly £300 of dollars, this 7700 is the best value 8-core chip in the AM5 range, which not only gets you insane single-threaded performance, which is perfect for gaming, but with 8 cores, you're set for all of the games that are coming out now and for the foreseeable future. This makes it a smarter choice over the 7600 for those that can afford it, whilst offering a much better price per frame than the slightly better but more expensive 7800 X3D. But hang on a second there, Centric. What about that 7600? You've got it in your text, but you haven't actually spoken about it. I would say if you're going to spend about £400 or so, maybe £500-ish on a graphics card, then do strongly consider it, because you can save about £80 or so versus that 7700, and you get similar but not the same performance. If you are building a pure gaming PC, then it is going to be fantastic. Just do be aware that there are going to be some limitations with the longevity of your chip. If you're okay with that, then go for it, but if you do have the money, I think the 7700 is a fair bit better. The graphics cards at this point pretty much excel across the board, mainly 1440p, ultra-wide, but also 4K if you're willing to use DLSS or FSR to get you there. It's a fantastic way to spend your money, and while it's not the absolute best and not the absolute cheapest, I think this is probably what's going to yield you the best results for your money. Again, performance between these two cards is actually very similar, but if you do pay an extra £50 to £100 for the 4070, you'll actually be losing 4GB of VRAM. Work that one out. But in exchange, you'll be given access to better ray tracing and DLSS 3.5 frame generation, which makes it ideal for playing games like Cyberpunk and Alan Wake 2. But for those that demand the very best and you want to play at 4K or maybe 240Hz, 360 or above, you're going to need to get serious. And this is where you're looking at something like the i7 14700K or the Ryzen 7 7800 X3D. I don't know why that caught me off guard. Paired with an RTX 4070 Ti or something like a 7900 XT or XTX. Now, choosing between these two CPUs is actually really easy, as both will perform similarly, and by that I mean top-end frame rates in the most demanding titles, but the Ryzen 7800 X3D is built for gaming alone, whilst the i7 is a bit more of a jack of all trades thanks to its higher core count. As the Ryzen will often be slightly faster in entirely CPU bottleneck games, is much more upgradable, uses less power and is cheaper to buy in the first place, well, it's clearly the better chip for pure gamers. But if you want a bit more of a well-rounded system that's still fantastic at gaming, well, this is when the i7 becomes the superior choice. As for the GPUs, well, the RTX 4070 Ti has lots of performance and access to that Nvidia RTX toolbox, whilst the AMD RX 7900 XT has much better price to performance, and then the XTX excels in pretty much any situation. This does also lead us to the RTX 4080 that hasn't made this list, and I just want to clarify the reason for that is because the performance of this is very similar to the XTX, but in a lot of cases this is anywhere between £100 and £200 more, which is fine if you're all about ray tracing, but this is when we're sort of into not the best value territory, and there is one more card you could consider. And indeed, if you do have thousands of dollars or pounds weighing down your back pocket, Americans will love that because they think, pounds, they're really heavy. Yeah, they would weigh down my back pocket. But back to the point, if you do have pounds weighing down your pocket, well, you may as well just go all in and grab the class-leading RTX 4090 and then pair it with that same 7800X3D or the Intel i9 14900K. I personally play on that RTX 4090 7800X3D combo. You can find a video all about this in the top right corner of your screen, and it is insane what you can get here. I've clocked up about 17 hours in Alan Wake 2, and it really does show just how good video games can look and of course feel. It is the same deal on the Team Red versus Blue front though. Grab the 3D if it's all about a pure gaming PC, or if you're going to use your PC for other things too and you want a powerhouse system, grab the i9. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is your lot. Those are my recommendations of perfect pairings of graphics cards and CPUs. If you want to build yourself a gaming PC, upgrade the one that you've already got, then if you go for these, I think you're going to have an awesome experience. But as always, we would love to hear feedback from you. Do you agree with my recommendations? Do you think I've got things completely wrong? Have I missed, I don't know, the older generation, or have I not focused on Team Blue enough? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so let us know down in the comment section below. Please smash that like button if you've enjoyed this, it really does help out. Get yourself subscribed, and of course, if you do want to check out current pricing on anything featured in this video, you can find it linked down below with our affiliate links. And while you're down there, don't forget to bask in the goodness of Newegg's Black Friday sale. Personal picks include an RX 6600 Eagle for $190, Samsung's 2TB 990 Pro SSD for $120, and the MSI Ventus RTX 4070 Ti, but there are so many to pick from. You can even upgrade your GPU with Newegg's trade-in program for a super easy swap. Grab your deal today, check out Newegg's Black Friday deals with the link down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, we'll catch you in the next one.